Nick Richards. 28 minutes per game, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, half a steal, 1 block, 67% from the field, 1.2 turnovers. This is going to be a quick one, Chase. I really don't know I was really struggling for like something to unearth here and tell you about Nick Richards. He just looks the same guy. Hasn't really improved as the year has gone on. Like, you maybe think that, okay, now you've been the starter for longer and you're used to playing in the starting units. Obviously, it's not a great lineup for him. There's not a lot of shooting. There's not a lot of space. All those things that you have to say to, which doesn't make it easy for him to succeed. But he's just kind of out there at times. And he goes for like these long stretches where he just seems to be like out the game on both ends. He still has this physical bustle center. Like, he definitely has that. But I've been disappointed with his rim protection this year. I've been disappointed with his offensive rebounding and his foul rate on the offensive end. Like, they've all dropped this year, and I think that's something to do with playing high minutes and not getting into foul trouble. But here's my question to you. I want to use this as a segue, really, to talk about Nick Richards and the center position. Do you think the Hornets should go into next year with Mark Williams and Nick Richards as their two centers, like their top 2 centers on the roster?
No, I've felt this way for a while, and I'm glad that you actually asked me that because, like, for as much as I think Nick has carved a career path as a backup center, as like a rim runner, like defensive rebounder type guy, I just feel even stronger that the Hornets should look for a different matchup at the 5. Like, I feel like this season is a perfect example. Mark played 19 games, I think I said. I think we got more flashes or more growth in whatever small areas out of that than we've seen from Nick this year. And I understand there are different stages in their career, but like he hasn't added really anything to his game, and he is a very like low impact player, I guess is the way to put it. Like, he just gets you 10 and 8 by being a big physical guy that doesn't have like a ton of skill, but is just available and knows where to fill in the gaps for like a player at his position and role and size in the NBA. It's just very, there's
you
nothing
put
like
any guy of that size playing 28 minutes per game. Like, you telling me like Bruno Fernando, Gogo Batarte, Jericho Sims, Bismack Biyombo, they could all give you those numbers if they were given the minutes that Nick Richards is. And I feel like the backup center market, we learned this in the NBA a long time ago, that it's pretty replaceable. And there's a lot of guys out there who can do that. And some of these games, even where he has like 14 and 11, looks great in the stat sheet. You watch the game, not meaningful, some of them. Some of them are, but like more often than not, they're a little bit empty calories. The points and the rebounds come when the game is completely off the line, out of reach. And for me, I didn't think they can go in with Richards Williams, but I didn't think they should necessarily replace Richards. I didn't think you'll get a ton for him. It would be like, no, let's go in with a third center. And if we're in a position where Nick Richards isn't playing because this team's deep at center, then that is a good situation to be in. And let's have competition and training camp, and let's actually have depth. I think that's where I land on that. So that is my all for Nick Richards.
That part I actually agree with. If you're going to move him down the depth chart and get someone better than him, that would be perfect. Because then, I mean, he is no longer like his redundancy with Mark, I think, is what really is the biggest thing for me. He's just the exact same player, but worse at like quite literally everything. So there's just not really a reason to have a player like that on a team.
Not goaltends.
Yeah, that much is true. He's definitely better at illegally swatting the ball off of the rim or the backboard than Mark is, which it counts for something. I don't know if it's something positive necessarily, but it definitely counts for something.
Isaiah Hartenstein, Nick Claxton, Jonas Valanciunas, maybe in that order. Yeah. I think that's a real possibility this offseason, depending how these things go here. But Chase,
I would love a shooting big. That's it.